Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Clift, and in the spotlight today, I'm thrilled to talk to Alexa Tarantino, jazz saxophonist and woodwind artist. Hi Alexa, and welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jenny. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great to see you. So a quick bio, and then we'll get into the questions. So in the words of the great jazz trumpeter, Wynton Marsalis, Alexa Tarantino is a one-woman wrecking crew, an indomitable force for expression, education, and absolute excellence. Alexa has been triple nominated as a Rising Star alto saxophonist by Downbeat Magazine's Critics Poll from 2020 to 2022. She was named one of the top 5 alto saxophonists of 2019 by the Jazz Times Critics Poll and was one of 100 alumni to receive the Centennial Award from the Eastman School of Music in 2022. Alexa tours worldwide with Cecile McLorin Salvant, and I have seen her perform with Cecile, so that was an exciting, we'll talk about that later. She also tours with Artemis and the Alexa Tarantino Quartet, as well as with Wynton Marsalis and the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra. Her records have consistently topped jazz radio charts. Tarantino is in demand internationally as an energetic and impactful clinician, mentor, and coach, and also represents Jazz at Lincoln Center as a visiting educator for various programs with students of all ages and levels. So Alexa, welcome. Thank you for being here to talk to me.
Yay, thank you so much, Jenny. This is amazing. So happy.
That's an impressive bio, I must say. Wow. So we're at the beginning of 2023 now. Talk to me a bit about last year, about 2022, about that year. What was a success for you, and what was the most challenging thing about the year?
So in terms of 2022, I think, the most successful thing was sort of joining a few different groups and really getting to tour the world with them. So Cecile and I traveled quite a bit with her group, as you saw in Madrid, and did a fair amount of touring with Wynton Marsalis. And then I started with a group led by Rini Rosnes named Artemis. And so with all of that, juggling all of that, it meant a lot of seeing the world, meeting new people, making great music, eating great food, all the good things. So, and that's been really wonderful. And of course, with my education side of things, I started a lot more coaching online and working with several longer term clients one-on-one and just helping them take their playing to the next level. So that's been very rewarding. Yeah. In terms of the challenges, I think the biggest thing for me has been balancing all of those responsibilities and figuring out, how to manage my time in the best way possible to stay, still healthy and refreshed for every opportunity. So between juggling the various groups, the 3 or 4 groups that I'm in, or leading my own group, and the coaching and various other educational outreach initiatives, and then of course my personal life and just general health and wellness, it got to be a lot. So I'm, starting to find people that aligned with my vision in terms of wanting to create a really well-rounded and fulfilling life was very meaningful. And you are one of those people. We met through Jennifer Rosenfeld's 6FME, and that was just such a great click moment, I think. And that's how I got to know you and how I got to know EFT.
Yeah. So what kind of, just thinking about this, finding a balance in the different parts of your career and everything, can you, because I think this is a problem for many, or a challenge, let's say, for many freelancers, for many people at any level of the game. Any advice for people out there?
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm still, yeah, still working on it. I mean, there's lots of very organized color-coded spreadsheets involved with my touring calendar and things like that. But I think the most important thing is to constantly have some type of gentle routine that you can kind of fall back on. So for me, like in the mornings and in the evenings, I have somewhat of a routine that I can stick to, no matter if I'm home and coming home late from a gig, or waking up late because I had a late gig, or waking up early for teaching, or being in a completely different time zone and getting out to get some fresh air. There's like some things that I do in the mornings and the evenings that are sort of non-negotiables. And so that's really helpful to feel balanced and feel consistent, even when nothing is really consistent.
Yeah.
And so that's probably the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah, I love that. And that reminds me, yes, when you were here in Madrid, that we went for a walk together, and you told me then, yes, that's one thing I like to do wherever I am in the world, is to go for a walk and yeah, and see where you are and be in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a very funny trip, I remember, because we kind of quickly arrived in Madrid, and we're towards the end of the tour, and I was wearing those faux leather pants,
I remember
and
them well. You must tell us.
for the show. And just as we were walking on stage, the people behind me walking on were like, "What happened to your pants?" And the faux leather was starting to wear off, because I sit on the edge of my chair and I'm like bouncing around and all this stuff. So they've had a lot of wear and tear over the tour. And so as I was walking out on stage, I realized like the lining was kind of peeling off my back side. And it was still like fine, there were no
Yeah.
major
And
reveals.
I'm sitting in the audience and I didn't know any of this. You just walked on and you were laughing. I remember you were with Cecile and laughing.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh,
Yeah.
she's so relaxed. She's in such a great mood.
Yeah, and so then it was totally fine until then, of course, the auditorium being a 360
Yeah.
degree audience, of course, like bowing to one side and then having to turn and bow to the other got a little interesting, but we made it work, and we had a good laugh.
Yeah, we did indeed. I love it. So, Alexa, what's next for you? What's coming up in 2023? And, what are you excited about?
I'm excited to be doing, continuing the travel. So continued travel with the groups that I mentioned. I'm hoping to refresh with some more dates on my end as a band leader. So leading Alexa Tarantino Quartet with new music and some recording as well. And then more coaching. I've put out some online courses. I'm starting to release a series of 3 online courses that are self-paced for jazz musicians looking to take their skills to the next level. And yeah, just looking forward to meeting new folks around the world.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So how can we find you if we want to see you at one of these concerts or buy your one of your discs, or yeah, where do we find you?
Absolutely. My website's alexatarantino.com, and I'm on social media at Alexa Tarantino, or Spotify, Alexa Tarantino, all that good stuff.
Okay, great. So if we know your name, we can find you absolutely. And we can also put
Yes.
jazz saxophonist and you'll come up, won't you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So I'll share the links, and I'm really looking forward to, and I hope you come back to Madrid soon so that I can see you again. Yay.
Me too. Thank you for everything, Jenny. You've been such a huge help to me this year, and I couldn't have done it without you, really.
I think doing the inner work together has been so. I find working with someone of your caliber, it's so interesting, because even at your level, there's still things that come up. There's still these challenges that we have, and the visibility thing, not necessarily one's pants, but other things. I think it's interesting to see that at every level there are, I call it new levels, new devils. There's always challenges, aren't there?
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, and especially, dealing with different types of people and different expectations through all the groups that I'm in, and navigating all of that and trying to stay true to myself at the same time. Yeah, it's just been a huge help in sort of learning to take a moment and to pause and take a breath and really stay centered and work through any stress or any overwhelm in a way that's really healthy and calming.
Nice, nice. I love it. So thank you again, Alexa. It's been lovely to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to doing seeing you a lot next year in the year. And thank you for being here. It's great.
Thanks, Jenny. You're the best.
You too. Bye-bye.